Hello, everyone. This is the Mr. Informal podcast. Yes, the very first Mr. Informal podcast for 2021. I cannot believe it is already 2021. And so I just want to greet you Happy New Year. I hope you had a great New Year. My New Year was a bit sad because it didn't feel the same. No partying, no drinking, none of that. I guess I just had some good food. That's all I had. So again, I just want to greet you Happy New Year's, and also I also want to let you know that please do not forget to add me on Instagram, MisterInformal, and then check out my website, mrinformal.com, mrinformal.com. So, what are the four topics for the Mr. Informal Podcast 138? Well, number one, shopping platforms is on the rise. Number two, digital currency is also on the rise, so we'll talk more about that. And then number three, Amazon is getting into podcasts to compete with other brands out there. And last but not least, the rise of tag. Tag, what I mean is tag in fashion, in Instagram, Facebook, and so other social media platforms out there. And so those are the four topics for the Mr. Informal Podcast 138. And again, I just want to greet you Happy New Year's. And so let's get on with the podcast. So on the first topic is Shopify. And also other platforms out there. Shopify could be Big Cartel. It could be other e-commerce platforms out there. And so, but Shopify is probably the most common, so we'll talk about that. So during the coronavirus lockdown, online e-commerce has gone off the charts, record breaking, and so also small businesses who use Shopify also rised up. And so at the end of the year, basically Shopify went up by 178% per stock reports. So I just want to let you know about all these shopping platforms is basically went up. I'm talking about small e-commerce platforms for those small businesses. I do know that Shopify is also used in many corporate because, well, they're very common and they're very easy, and basically a lot of people use them, and so it's much more compatible with other programs out there or other apps, and certainly payment forms too. So I mean, even moving on to 2021, this year, Happy New Year, all these small shopping platforms or small shopping tech platforms will basically rise too. It's not gonna stop them until basically everything opens up in terms of no more lockdowns, no more restrictions, no more limitations. It's probably gonna be stable, but what's gonna happen is that, and this is just a prediction and assumption, is that they may plateau, or they're going to slowly go up because again, the rise of online shopping. Certainly, it's helping small businesses out there, but still small businesses need to deal with the logistics of things. I'm talking about specifically shipping. And if you have invested into Shopify in terms of stock, well, you have done great. Right now is certainly not the best thing to buy because, well, they went up. And in terms of stocks, you don't want to buy up, you always want to buy low. And it is interesting that Shopify is rising. Certainly, all other platforms are also rising. Also, big cartels out there, and not only that, don't be surprised if other users or other customers out there, or even new business owners, will also use that. So again, it's gonna rise up, or it's gonna slowly plateau sooner or later when the restriction goes down. This also lets us know that people are also buying from small businesses online, which is absolutely great. That's what you want to have, and that's what you want to do. Is you got to support small businesses. Now, I'm not saying that that's true for Shopify. It doesn't have to be Shopify. It could be other small, it could be other shopping platforms out there. Now, what this does not tell us is that the kind of what kind of stores or what kind of items that people are buying during this lockdown, because the corporate are still basically doing great, but in terms of small businesses who use Shopify, we don't know what kind of items. Could it be clothes? Could it be home improvement items? Could it be home decor? It could be anything. So it's really hard to understand. Not only that, we don't know the kind of rate that, we don't know the percentage of people, businesses using Shopify, or businesses using their own e-commerce platform. So that's something to get into maybe later on. But it is quite interesting that Shopify and other small businesses shopping platforms are rising. And again, don't be surprised if they still keep rising. Not as fast, but slowly, as life starts to become normal, or suddenly this lockdown and restriction is lifted. So topic number 2 is digital currency. As you know, Ether, Bitcoin, Dogecoin, all kinds of digital currencies going up. But that's not the kind of discussion I want to talk about, because I already know they're going up. But I'm talking about the adoption rate of digital currency. Now, as you know, I'm sure you've been to websites where they would accept Bitcoins and other type of coins out there, but the adoption rate is still not there. Now, maybe it's slowly getting there, but it's really slow. I was just at the mall over the weekend and I saw a Bitcoin buying machine, and so that was kind of interesting. It's slowly getting there. And again, I live in a big city, so maybe in a small city or small town, it may not be there. So it's really, really slow. The thing, I know I covered digital currency before, but the thing about digital currency is that it's not physical. And that's what I don't like about it. It's not physical. I cannot touch it. And you can track it. And that's something I do not want, because I don't want people, especially the government or any type of financial institution, to know what I'm spending, where am I spending, what am I doing with my money. So this is why I'm still 50-50 on digital currency. Now, don't get me wrong, I think some of it is great and some of it is not. Now, I'm sure you already, and now if you have invested in these coins, I'm sure you are making a lot of money, especially when they were to 1 cent or maybe to $1. But at the same time, I think the world is not yet ready to adopt digital currency, because it's not physical. That's why I love paper money, because it's something I can touch, it's something I can have, it's something I can lock away, something that I can save. And so it's kind of tough. Now, maybe 10 years from now, 20 years from now, we will see more online shopping accepting digital currency, but the value of it is unknown. Think about one Bitcoin is equal to $30,000. So the thing is that that the government is trying to regulate it. So we don't really know for sure how the value of digital currency is. Right now, we're only seeing the value of it per stock. But in actuality, what is the value of these digital currency in terms of exchange goods and services? I don't know yet. You don't know yet. So honestly, I don't want the government to be regulating these digital currency, because again, it's just not good. This is why I prefer paper currency. But maybe in the 10 to 20 years, we'll see more adoption of digital currency, but as of right now, it is not ready yet. On to topic number 3, Daily Crunch article. Amazon acquires Wandery. Now, what is Wandery? Well, let's see. Amazon makes a big podcast acquisition. A Chinese robot maker raises $100 million, and we review a robotic cat pillow. There's your Daily Crunch. So, Amazon is the latest company to make a big acquisition in the podcast market. It's buying Wandery, the podcast network behind shows like Dirty John and Dr. Death. Never heard of them. Although Wandery is becoming part of Amazon Music, the company also says that nothing will change for listeners. That Wandery's podcast will continue to be available from a variety of providers. So basically, a podcast platform that is Wandery. So, let's see. Well, as you know, Apple has podcast. Certainly. Amazon is getting all podcasts. I know Joe Rogan certainly is doing podcasts now. He signed up for Spotify. I think it was $100 million, or it could be more. I don't know, whatever the deal is. And so everyone is getting on the podcast game, and YouTube do have podcasts. I mean, in a way, of video podcasts, which is pretty good. And so everyone is getting into podcasts. Everybody. Well, as you know, I'm doing also podcast too, but I'm doing it in YouTube. So since doing lockdown, and we're still on lockdown, maybe in some parts of the country and wherever you are, everyone's listening to podcast. And if you are commuting, you are listening to podcast, whether it be through train, bus, or even a car, some trolley, wherever, you're listening to a podcast. And I guess to me, podcast is basically like a radio show. That's all it is to me. It's a radio show. I mean, does it comes with commercials? Yeah, maybe. But everyone's doing it, and everybody wants to know about types of podcasts. And you can make podcasts anywhere as long as you have a microphone and a computer. So, and don't be surprised if 2021 is the year of the podcast, or even 2022, because everyone's getting on that podcast. Anybody can have type of podcast, and certainly people will have a deals of podcasts. That would be from Spotify, Apple, YouTube, or even Amazon. Now, Amazon is probably going to certainly invest in a lot of podcasts, whether it be acquisition or even making deals with other podcasts out there. Certainly, I would love to have some kind of deal, make millions, and certainly a dream. That would be a dream, but we'll see. And so Amazon is certainly investing in a lot of tech platforms out there. The only thing I really and truly wish they would do is take on YouTube, but they will not do that, or maybe they're not yet ready. But I truly wish they would take on YouTube, and it is something I really hope for, because YouTube needs competition, but there are small competition out there. But for now, I think Amazon is taking it slowly by investing in some podcasts. Certainly they have Amazon Music, which needs to be better. Amazon Prime Video also needs to be better, but I think they're taking their time on it. They're taking it way too slow. But I think they just need to hire the right people, or also hire the type of talent that they need to actually get onto it. But I think they're not in a rush to do so. And so we'll see what Wandery brings to Amazon, and certainly what Amazon will bring into the podcast game come this year, 2021. We'll see what kind of deals that they will have. But be on the lookout as to what Amazon will do in the podcast industry. So last topic is, let's talk about Tagged. What is Tagged is basically a marketing type of tagging your items, and then linking to a store that has it or some information. So basically, let's say you're Instagram or Facebook or even Facebook, YouTube, wherever, or some type of image, right? Even TikTok. Then you put a dot in it, and then you tell the information, and then you put a price. Then you can put a link on it or some type of information. It doesn't have to be a store. So that is basically what tag is. So basically, whatever you have in the picture is what you are selling. That is what tag is, and it's rising. We're gonna see more of it, and if you haven't seen of it, I'm sure you've seen it in Instagram. They put this white dot on a certain item, and then you click on it, and then it will take you a link or some kind of store, and so on. So there's gonna be more of that as social media influencers are rising in terms of influence and also effects. As you know, I did cover that. I think the influence was up by 57%, which is astonishing, absolutely amazing if you are an influencer. And so if you have anything that is on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Snapchat, wherever, so on and so on, and you're tagging all your items in the picture, or you're modeling for the brands, certainly people want to buy it, people want to know more about it, people want to know where to get it. And especially if you are a celebrity, it is a powerful thing to be a celebrity, because you are basically an influencer and you will tag all the items. And certainly a lot of brands love that, because they either pay for your marketing, they either pay you by giving you the goods, or you're doing it for free. And so when you do it for free, certainly brands love that, because you're giving marketing and also exposure. Now, whether it be good or bad. So that is basically tag. And certainly I didn't know about it. If you haven't known about it, well, I'm telling you all about it right now. I thought that it wasn't called tag. I thought it was just, to me, tag was basically when you're tagging someone, it's a person. Now it's being applied to items now. I thought it was more of a, linking, but, I just call it tag. I mean, tag could be anything. In graffiti, they call it tagging. I don't know why, but whatever. But now it's also coming to the social media platforms. Basically, anybody can be an influencer, can be a model, can be a salesperson, as long as you link the items on your pictures or on your social media post. And certainly we'll see more of that this year, but I think we'll commonly see that everywhere, probably come 2022. So don't be surprised if everybody's tagging all their items in the social media platforms, whether they are influencer or not, because obviously they can make money from it. They can get great exposure, and certainly brands will get great exposure off of it. Certainly we'll see Facebook, Snapchat, YouTube, it's certainly TikTok and Instagram will have more of it. Certainly, especially if you are a brand that has a store and you have a store at Instagram. So we'll see more widespread adoption of it, and maybe we'll have a company made out of it. I don't know what it's called, but whatever it is, certainly it will help more brands create more tagging in their pictures or in their website. Maybe I need it. Maybe I need to have it on the website. So whatever it may be. So we'll see more of that this year, and certainly come next year. And so that basically concludes this podcast 138. Certainly the first podcast for 2021. I cannot believe it's already 2021. I felt like 2020 passed by so fast and I did not do anything with my life. And again, Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Hopefully this year is a great one than last year. And please do not forget to add me on Instagram, MISTERINFORMAL, and then check out my website, MRINFORMAL.com. And so, hopefully I get to see you in the next podcast. And again, Happy New Year. I will see you in the next podcast. Bye bye.